There's a moment, quiet, almost unnoticeable, when something inside you shifts. You can't explain it, you can't prove it, but you feel it, the way you feel the heaviness in the air before a storm, or the subtle fragrance of rain before it falls. Karl Pribram believed that our brain doesn't simply record reality, it projects it like a hologram made of light and memory. If that's true, then what's stirring within you right now isn't a random mood. It's an encoded image already imprinted in the deeper architecture of your mind, waiting for the right conditions to appear. Joe Dispenza reminds us that every thought is more than a private whisper inside your head. It's a measurable signal sent out into the quantum field. And the field responds, not always in the way you imagined, not always in the order you hoped for, but it responds, sometimes in whispers, sometimes in ripples, sometimes through the kind of moments you almost dismiss, until you realize they were the first signs of a larger pattern forming. Right now, you might be feeling restless. Maybe you've been carrying the weight of unanswered prayers, wondering if the universe has gone silent. Maybe you've felt as though you've been standing still for too long, while life moves past you. And maybe beneath all of that, there's still this unshakable feeling that something is shifting. Not tomorrow, not next month, now. Think of your mind as an old roll of film. The picture you want, the change, the breakthrough, the moment of clarity is already there. You can't see it yet, but it's been there all along, etched into the surface. All it takes is the right light, the right chemistry, the right exposure for it to reveal itself. And this is the week to start looking for that light. This isn't about sitting back and waiting for the next 7 days to pass. It's about tuning in, like adjusting the dial on an old radio until the static fades and the music comes into focus. Because the pattern you've been waiting for is already on its way. Your only task now is to recognize it when it arrives. Before we go further, if you're ready to explore this shift, if you want to see the signs when they appear and not look back wondering how you missed them, subscribe now, turn on the notifications, and stay with me. Because in these next moments, I'll help you see what your mind has been trying to show you all along. And when you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. There's a kind of noise that doesn't come from the outside world. You can't hear it with your ears, but you can feel it. Low, constant, almost like a faint hum beneath everything you do. It's the residue of old grief, the kind that never fully found a place to rest. It's the quiet pulse of fears you don't often name out loud, the fears that sit in the corners of your mind and watch the days go by. It's the slow drip of self-doubt that seeps into your choices, making you question if you're capable, if you're worthy, if you're even meant to receive the things you've been hoping for. This static interferes with more than your mood. It clouds the way your brain processes reality. Neuroscience tells us that our perception is never neutral. It's filtered through our emotional state. When that state is filled with unresolved heaviness, the filter distorts. You might see opportunities and label them as risks. You might feel a door opening and mistake it for danger. You might confuse the beginning of something beautiful with the onset of loss, simply because that's what your nervous system has learned to expect. It's like trying to listen to your favorite song on an old radio, but the tuning is just a little off. The melody is there, playing in the background of your life, but you can't quite make out the details. The words are muffled, the rhythm feels unstable, and after a while you start to believe the song itself is broken, but the truth is, the song has been perfect all along. It's the interference that's been masking it. Many people live years, even decades, with this static running in the background. They adapt to it, normalize it, and build their lives around it. But when a new frequency tries to enter, when life attempts to introduce a chapter that feels lighter, more expansive, the static doesn't just fade on its own. It needs your awareness. It needs you to recognize the hum for what it is, so that when the signal begins to clear, you'll know it's not just a coincidence. Sometimes the first step in awakening isn't adding anything new at all. It's creating enough silence in the noise to finally hear what's been playing for you this whole time. For many, manifestation has been reduced to a simple equation. Think positively, visualize your dream, and it will arrive. But beneath that polished formula lies a quiet misunderstanding that often does more harm than good. This belief suggests that if your life hasn't shifted yet, it's because you're not thinking the right thoughts hard enough. Or worse, that something is inherently wrong with you. This is where hope turns into quiet self-punishment. The truth is, your mind is not a magic wand that overrides your deepest state of being. You can't plant seeds of abundance in soil that still carries the roots of unhealed fear. You can't pour light into a container that believes it's meant to stay empty. Manifestation isn't simply about broadcasting desire. It's about becoming a clear enough vessel to receive what you're asking for. Neuroscience offers a clue here. Your brain's predictive system is designed to protect you by keeping life consistent with what it knows. If what it knows is scarcity, chaos, or abandonment, then even if opportunity knocks, your mind may quietly shut the door without you realizing it. Not because you're flawed, but because your nervous system has confused the unfamiliar with the unsafe. This is why you can repeat affirmations 1,000 times and still feel like nothing changes. The words are touching the surface, but the body, the deeper frequency you're broadcasting, is still carrying the static of old narratives. Until you align those inner patterns with the life you envision, you're not rejecting abundance consciously, but your system may still be filtering it out. True manifestation is not a performance of confidence. It is an unlearning, a soft dismantling of the outdated instructions your mind and body have been following. It's not about forcing the universe to deliver faster. It's about removing the invisible walls inside you so that, when the door opens, you can actually walk through without hesitation. There are moments in your life you barely remember, yet your body remembers them perfectly. An unfinished cry, a silent disappointment, a moment you needed safety, but found emptiness instead. These experiences don't simply fade with time, they weave themselves into the nervous system, becoming the unspoken script that runs your reactions, your choices, even your dreams. When something in the present echoes that old wound, your body reacts instantly, sometimes with fear, sometimes with withdrawal, sometimes with a rush of anger that feels bigger than the situation itself. This is not weakness. This is memory, alive and awake, quietly steering the wheel. Neuroscience calls it emotional memory. Unlike facts or dates, these memories are not stored in neat, logical files. They are stored as sensations, impulses, and reflexes, as if a part of you is still living inside that original moment, waiting for a resolution that never came. And because your conscious mind cannot always see this connection, you may think you're reacting to what's in front of you, when in truth, you're responding to something that happened years ago. This is why certain patterns feel impossible to break. It's why, even when you're standing in a safe place, your body might still feel the tension of a battlefield long gone. Your mind can say, "I'm fine," but your heartbeat tells another story. And that story keeps shaping the way you perceive opportunities, relationships, and your own worth. The path forward isn't about erasing these memories. You can't. It's about integrating them, giving them the closure they never received. When you do, you stop living from the script of the past and begin writing the present with a steadier hand. The grip of old emotions loosens, and for the first time, your life starts to feel like it belongs fully to you. Every thought you think, every choice you make, every reaction you have, they are all filtered through the state of your nervous system. When it is regulated, you feel grounded, clear, and capable. You can access creativity, empathy, and perspective. But when it is dysregulated, your world narrows. Decisions feel urgent, threats feel everywhere, and even moments of calm feel suspicious, as if something bad is about to happen. This is because your nervous system is not just a biological network. It is the bridge between your body and your mind, your past and your present. It carries the echoes of every time you felt unsafe, unseen, or unloved, and it keeps scanning for signs that history might repeat itself. In this way, it doesn't just protect you, it also confines you, holding you in a loop that feels impossible to escape. Most people try to change their lives by focusing only on thoughts and willpower, ignoring that their entire physiology is wired to keep them in the familiar. You can tell yourself new stories, but if your body is still on high alert, those stories won't take root. Real transformation begins when your nervous system learns that safety is possible again, that it is allowed to relax without losing control. When you start working with your nervous system instead of against it, something shifts. You stop fighting yourself. You stop treating your own reactions as enemies to be defeated, and you begin to create a space where new patterns can grow. Not because you forced them, but because your body finally believes they can exist. Change is not just a mental act, it is a physiological permission slip. And the moment your nervous system grants it, the rest of your life begins to rearrange itself around the freedom you've unlocked. Living in a state of constant alert is like keeping a light on in your home all night, every night. At first, you barely notice the drain. You think, this is just how life is. But over time, the cost becomes undeniable. Your energy is never fully restored, your body never fully relaxes, and your mind never truly trusts the quiet moments. When your nervous system is always scanning for danger, it changes how you experience everything, even joy. A laugh feels fleeting. A moment of peace feels fragile. Love feels conditional, as if it could vanish at any second. You start to confuse vigilance with strength, thinking that if you lower your guard, everything will collapse. This chronic alertness affects your health in ways you might not connect at first. Sleep becomes shallow. Your digestion suffers. Your muscles stay tense without you realizing it. Your breath never quite reaches your belly. Over the years, this silent strain shapes your body, your thoughts, and your capacity to hope. And perhaps the deepest cost is this: constant alert steals your presence. You are there, but not there. You are listening, but already preparing your next defense. You are loving, but always bracing for loss. You are alive, but not truly living. Breaking free from this state is not about suddenly trusting the world or pretending it is safe. It begins with learning how to tell your body that it can rest now, even for a moment, to let your system experience small doses of safety until it remembers what it's like to be in the world without the constant need to protect yourself. Because when the hypervigilance fades, life starts to feel different, not because the world has changed, but because you have. Long before your mind can put words to what happened, your body has already written its own record. It remembers in the way your shoulders tighten when someone raises their voice, in the way your breath shortens when a door slams, in the way your stomach knots when you feel unseen. These reactions are not weaknesses. They are the echoes of moments when your safety was once uncertain. Your body stores these memories in a language deeper than thought. A trembling in your hands that you can't explain, a sudden heaviness in your chest when you walk into a certain place, a restless energy that rises for no apparent reason. These are the body's way of saying, I've been here before, and I remember. The mind is skilled at forgetting, at pushing away what it cannot face. It hides the sharp edges of pain behind logic, distraction, or even humor. But the body does not lie. It carries the imprint quietly, waiting for the right moment to be heard. This is why certain feelings seem to appear out of nowhere. They are not random. They are reminders from a part of you that still longs for resolution. When you begin to listen to your body's language, you open a doorway to healing that thinking alone can't reach. You notice that the tightness in your jaw is not just tension, it's unspoken words. That the ache in your chest is not just stress, it's grief that has never been held. that the exhaustion you feel is not just physical, it's the weight of years spent carrying what you could not release. Healing begins not by forcing these memories away, but by creating a space safe enough for them to surface without fear. A space where the body's truths are not silenced, but honored. Because when the body is finally heard, the mind no longer has to protect you by forgetting. And in that reunion between memory and presence, something inside you begins to soften. In the span of a week, you can begin to shift the way your body and mind relate to the world. 7 days may seem small against the weight of years, yet it is within small spans of time that profound changes can begin to take root. Every moment in the coming days holds an opportunity to notice what you once overlooked. The subtle signals your body gives, the quiet changes in your breath, the ways your thoughts begin to soften when they feel safe. The next 7 days are not about transformation in its entirety, but about setting the first stones in a path you will walk for the rest of your life. They are about showing your nervous system in consistent, gentle ways that it can rest. About letting your mind witness that safety does not always vanish. About giving your heart proof that it can open, even a little, without being shattered. When you dedicate this brief window of time to awareness, something remarkable happens. The patterns that once felt unshakable begin to loosen. You start to see the difference between who you became to survive and who you truly are. And in that space, new choices appear. Choices that lead you toward presence, wholeness, and peace. 7 days will pass, whether you are conscious of them or not. But if you meet them with intention, they can become a turning point, not because the world will change in that time, but because you will. And once you take even the smallest step towards safety within yourself, you begin to walk a path that has no end.